Hey guys, what's up? My name is Ragnar and welcome to the Gamers Codex. So in this video we are going to do a little bit of a deep dive in Dune Awakening. I have about 560 hours on the game, so I feel that I know the game a little bit enough already. And we are going to talk about what is the state of the game, what is the PvE, PvP, as well as what is coming in the future. What they need to change maybe. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments, what you'd like to see changed, what you like to see added perhaps. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, let's get into gameplay and core mechanics. I think the game is pretty nice in a variety of play styles where you have your class systems, your Bene Gesserit, your Blade Master, those kind of things where you can actually switch if you want to do a blade style 1 week. Okay, that's great. Then you can switch to range the next week. Then you can do heavy weapons versus light weapons, sniping, all those kind of things that actually gives you some variety in gameplay and not having it being too repetitive. Now, as for the NPCs themselves, that kind of feels a little bit repetitive. If you farm, for example, bodies, you always go to the same place, you always mine the same bodies, picking them up. That is a little bit repetitive in a way, but I found that especially when mining for the blueprints, sometimes I get into situations where I'm backed into a corner where I actually have to make life and death decisions, which is kind of nice in that it does keep you on your toes if you're doing higher levels. If you've done the Imperial testing stations in the deep desert, they have the rounds, which is quite fun to do. It's quite nice. And but I think for the core mechanics, I also told the guildmates that for an online game, I know some of you might disagree, this game is actually not as bad. If you look at games like New World, like a Disaster, or Diablo 4, or Last Epoch had a lot of issues as well. If you compare this game to those, I feel Dune Awakening did actually pretty good on release. It's not a single player game. I don't expect it to be 100%. Now, having that said, the changes that the devs are doing feels redundant in a lot of ways. One thing that I told one of the guildies is like, one said that it felt like they're putting band-aids on the problems, but they're only putting the sticky parts, not the actual gauze in the middle itself. So, it still hurts when you rip it off, but it didn't stop the bleeding. It's every update they're saying like, oh, we fixed the duping. We fixed the duping. It's like, how many times do you have to fix the duping? There are a few things like that with the core mechanics of the game, and I wish that they would fix them permanently, and it is a problem for them. You can do beta testing all you want, but you can't test against mass scale people trying to break the game, which they can only do after launch, which is understandable. I understand what Funcom is going through, which is fine. But yeah, let's get to the next part. Okay, so for the next, we're looking at what is the progression, what is the replayability of the game. And in that case, I feel a little bit torn that a lot of people focus on gathering spice and plastinium, which we did already. We've had thousands of plastinium, we had thousands of spice melange, and we still have thousands of plastinium, and we still have thousands of spice melange, which it's not gathering those resources isn't the pure end game. The pure end game is the blueprints. It's gathering your Plastinium rare blueprints, that is where it is. Because you can look at, for example, here, I actually made I got the MK6 Regis triple shot. Now the damage difference between that is the Regis does 358 damage, where the MK5 does 270. Yeah, 270. So that's a 70 damage boost, which is quite a lot. I got the Shell Burster, which is it's a shotgun that does 446 damage. Now the previous, I don't actually know. I think it's the Syndicate Impaler is the previous version. But if you go to Aluminium, that one only does 270. So you get quite large leaps of damage by getting those blueprints. So for replayability, I would say a lot of people need to focus more on getting those blueprints. And yes, that's where the farming come in, because if you look at the Landsrad gives you a lot of those recipes, and to get to the 10,500 requirement, yes, you need to gather a lot of spice melange. You need to gather, let's see here, a good one would be, okay, oh, here's a good example. You need to hand in spice wine. So that spice wine, I actually calculated this. It translates to, you need to hand in 219 spiced wine to get to the perforator, to get to your tier 6 schematic. Now, in order to get 219 spice wine, you need to gather 6,600 plant fiber. Yeah, you need to mine everything in the game in order to get to those like really tier 6 recipes. Some of them are really easy, like build 7 disruptors and you get them. That's fine. So the replayability in the game is there, and I don't think people have completely understood what the replayability is. You need to mine everything, not just spice, not just plastinium, everything. And if you're in a large guild, that doesn't matter, because if even if you pull the resources, you're only getting one recipe. So you need to, you know, solos are in the same boat as the large guild with the other resources. Yeah, of course, not with spice and plastinium. But yeah, that is the true replayability of the game is, okay, once you get all the blueprints, then maybe there's nothing left, but getting all the blueprints, that will take weeks, and hopefully we get to a point where by the time you get the last blueprint, the next patch comes out. So yeah, for the next one, we're going to be looking at PvP and PvE balancing. Okay, so talking about PvP and PvE, now I think looking at the chat in game, you get a lot of people complaining like, oh, why did you kill me in the PvP zone, in a PvP game, in the deep desert, where they stated there will be PvP for years. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get upset when someone shoots me down or someone kills me in a testing station. That's fine. I do get upset if the game glitches and I die or something like that. If the worm kills me, I was stupid. I risked it. I pushed the boundaries. But the state of PvP is that when you're farming, you need to be careful. You can choose if you want to farm medium spice fields over small spice fields. Yes, there's a big difference in how much you gather. You need to understand you can get shot at. If you're a solo player, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. You can join guilds, go out, join a guild, make a guild, form a guild, get friends, whatever. That is fine. If you want to stay solo, well, Funcom did say since forever that this is a PvP game, and to get the tier 6 items, you need to go into the deep desert. To me, I put it like this. It's like if someone complains about farming in the deep desert and getting killed. It's kind of like a person playing Fortnite, dropping out of the plane. Well, I don't play Fortnite. I think that's what happens, is you drop out, you land on a building, you loot the building, you get out of the building, you get shot, and then complain in the chat that you died. It's a PvP game. That's how it works. So that's the state of PvP pretty much now. Yes, you can get ganked by large groups. The NPCs in the Imperial testing stations in the deep desert, you can do it solo. I've done a testing station solo all of those rounds. If you're careful, if you know what you're doing, you can actually do them solo. I've done it before. But yeah, so for the next one, we're going to be talking about the economy, crafting, what the auction house is looking like. Now, I was very lucky. In the beginning, there was someone who sold spice melange for 1,000 Solari each, and I bought like 1,700 Solari from the auction house, which kind of ruined the game for me because I don't have to farm spice anymore. I have so much spice. The auction house, check it out every now and then. Check what recipes sell. You can even for replayability, get on, make some, I don't know, aluminium. Make aluminium, sell it on the auction house, get 1 million, log off, come on the next week, do the same thing, log off. Always be selling. You have 20 slots. You have 20 slots to put stuff in for the auction house. Have them filled up. Sell your plastinium. Sell your spice melange that you don't need. You don't need to have 5,000 plastinium. Okay, you can also give it in the Landsrad. Always be selling, buy new stuff. I checked if I wanted to buy 6,500 plant fiber, it will cost me about 1 million Solari. Yeah. I'm actually thinking about it because another thing that I thought of is like, I had 22 million Solari. Now I have 5 million. Why do I need 22 million? Use the money, use it. Use the Solari. Like, you don't have to always have a large bank account. If you need to use it for the Landsrad. Use your money, guys. Don't keep it, don't hog it. It doesn't do anything. There's no interest. Would be nice if you get some interest on that stuff. But yeah. So for the next one, we are going to actually talk about the world, the deep desert, the atmosphere of the game. So I'm in the deep desert in a base. They did add a little bit more to the deep desert in the way of islands. So it's a lot more populated now. The changes that I did to the deep desert, where they cut the deep desert in half, to me was a very stupid decision, because you had the starting zone. So let's say you had the starting zone, then you had the whole deep desert. So everyone was building bases here, okay? And you had to go into the deep desert, into the PvP to get resources. So what they did is they cut it in half, right? And they put just a little bit of resources in this half. No medium spice fields. Everyone, instead of building their bases in the safe zone, they just moved up. Now they're building their bases there. So they essentially just cut the map in half for no reason, really. None. What they could have done is just add more spawn nodes, add more titanium nodes, add more stravidium nodes in the deep desert, so that when people risk going in, they don't stay as long farming the stuff. So that to me was a completely pointless. And now what they said is they will add more islands so that it is not as crowded. It doesn't matter. You're not gonna extend that line. Everyone is still gonna build on the safe side of that line. It doesn't matter. So what they could do is just add more islands on that line, I guess. But it is kind of like a lot of the changes are redundant, and like I said, it's like a band-aid with only the sticky parts. It doesn't fix anything. It's just maybe it's easy for them to do. That's why they're doing it. But okay, let's see what happens in the future. So for the next one, let's talk about a little bit about the community. I actually really enjoy the community so far. My guild is full almost, but so far in the chat, people can be really friendly, or they can, there's one farmer. I think the farmers pretty much have gone already, and they understand now that, you risk it for the biscuit. If you get shot, that's it. So they've calmed down a bit. The community is great. And I've heard stories of some people, they go out, like 8 guys go out. So they'll shoot someone down, and then they will tell him to stop, and they will play him a song, and then they said, you need to dance. And then if you do everything correct, they will repair your ship and you get to leave. So there is something like that where people are finding ways to entertain themselves and entertain others, which I really like that in the game. Not a lot of toxicity in the game so far. I don't know. I guess it works from server to server, country to country, where you find different people, different mentalities, I guess. But so far, good experience, good guild experience, lots of nice people, lots of friends that I already made in the game. So yeah, keep up the good work, guys, and keep being friendly. Okay, so for the next one, we're talking about like some technical aspects of the game's bugs, what you have experienced. There are some cases where I still do clip through the map. They've tried to fix so many things already in the past that doesn't seem to work. There are glitches, there are hacks, still people duping stuff. There are repair bugs. I'm sure you all know what that is, where you can repair all your stuff for free to 100%. So there are the Pentashield. Yeah, this shouldn't be able. This shouldn't be possible. Now, they did address the Pentashield issue. They did say that it's not a hack, it's not cheating, but they will address this. They will fix it so that you can't do this anymore. Now, I feel, well, for me, my experience was that there's not a lot of bugs in the game. It's not so bad. There was cases where we once lost 500 spice melange when one of our guildmates went out of the deep desert, and we never got it back. What can you do? So yeah, there's some systems that just, they're not working, like I mentioned before, with the seeing your party on the map, which is so difficult to manage. That is a big thing that they need to fix, because it's very irritating. If you're in combat and you need to leave the party and rejoin the party, that's something you don't want to do. The thumpers that no one, like, I'm even sometimes like, how does these things work? There is the thumpers. They need to change the mechanics of the game, how it works. They need to change the ancient way, but we'll get to that shortly, about things that I would like to see changed. But yeah, for the next one, let's talk about changes I would like to see. One is, I would like for them to either remove or severely nerf the ancient way. So that one. The ancient way is a lock-on missile launcher that does, I think, So this thing does 919 damage. 919 damage. It has a range of 150. I don't have my rocket launcher with me. It's basically the same as a rocket launcher. It has a reload speed of 3.5. Now, I have played against people that literally, I have an MK6 Scout and with rockets. We went in to shoot him, to kill him, and he shot my Scout twice, an MK6 Scout twice. One of my wings were broken. All of the other three were like, you know, just like one step away from being broken. He broke my my power unit, and my engine was almost shot. I had to go down immediately, run away from him. We were 3 guys against 1. The other guildmate, his Scout was completely destroyed. He lost it. And the other guildmate, we told him, get away, run away. And luckily, I saved my Scout. Now, the Ancient Way, either remove it out of the game, it just breaks the game. Secondly, or at least make its damage like 300. Because if you go and you get the Death from Above, it gives you 20% damage increase. You get the range damage increase from both classes, and you get something like the Energy Capsule that gives you an extra 35%. That literally means you can 1 or 2 shot any MK6 Assault or Scout with that. So basically, you destroy a Scout, Assault, Ornithopter within 3 to 5 seconds. Like imagine that, Scout dropping, Scout dropping, Scout dropping. Now this item, the Ancient Way, was in week 2, it was part of the Landsrad rewards. So next week we have another weapons reward, which I would like to see if they actually give the Ancient Way, because then the server is finished. Everyone on the server has enough money to buy it, and everyone is our tradies, and we are dominating. Like every week we've won the Landsrad. Like we are completely dominating the Landsrad. So I do believe that's going to break the game, the server. Another thing that there are some quality of life that might be coming next week in August, where they have like the store all water buttons. No, I mean next month. I don't know if they're going to implement it next month. I don't know, but they said they're working on it. And yeah, there are a few. I think they need to rework the buggy completely. It's a mining buggy, or they need to rename it, make it the mining buggy. Remove the missiles, the buggy missiles. Remove the booster. You don't use it literally for anything else except mining in the deep desert, mining in Haga. The buggy needs to be reworked in a way that maybe add a shield to it. That's okay, cool. Add a shield to the buggy, or allow you to at least keep your shield in the buggy. Because my biggest problem with this is, even if you're in the buggy, your shield drops. Now, if you get shot by an Ornithopter, you will die inside of the buggy and you'll just fall next to it. It takes about 3 shots from a MK5, I think even, and you're dead. So you are so squishy, vulnerable, and close to death when you're driving this thing. And let's say you have something very nice like a MK6 Focus Buggy Cutter, which mines like an absolute beast. You lose it. You will lose it because you're dead. There's nothing you can do. You have to wait a minute to respawn. They destroy it and you're like, thanks, bye. So definitely need some kind of shielding and rework on this. They need to fix the worm, of course, not like jumping out of the... It makes for funny videos, but they need to fix that. They need to fix the duping. They need to fix the server issues. They need to fix the minimap issues with the party members. And there's a lot of quality of life things that they need to add. One thing they need to add for you to be able to access your ornithopter to your guild, your bank, which you can't. Like, so even if you store spice melange in your bank, you can't. You have to do it through your backpack. So they added it to the auction house, but they didn't add it to the bank, which is kind of silly. Another thing is increase the bank slots. I think you only have like 30 or 32. Jeez, I can't put anything. So because what I want to do is like, what if I stop playing the game, and I know that to get to the end game faster, I need an ornithopter, I need a buggy, and maybe some spice melange and plastinium. That's it. That's actually all you need, because the rest of the stuff you can farm so fast. So yeah, there are quite a bit of changes that they can do that I would like to see. Is it worth the money? Is it worth playing? It's like, yeah, of course. Well, for me, a lot of the reviews that I see is like, I see a lot of people reviewing at 200 to 300 hours. Now, the way I put it in my head is like, let's say you go to the movies. If you're a person that goes to the movies, let's say you pay $10, or I don't even know what a movie ticket costs in different currencies, but let's say you pay $10, you pay another $5 for cola, $5 for popcorn. Let's say the whole night you pay $20 to $30. Now, some of you might say like, only that? Yeah, okay, let's just say it's $30. This game with the early access cost about $50. I don't know what's the conversion rate, but let's say it's $50. I got 560 hours already. Compare that to a two-hour movie. Of course, it's worth it. Most games are worth it. But yeah, like, it's definitely worth it. I give it a good rating. For me, it hasn't been that glitchy. Yes, I've lost some stuff, but it's okay. It's gonna get better. What's gonna happen in the future? They're talking about getting tanks and that, which my final thought on that, it's redundant, it's useless. Where are you gonna use it? They said that they're not going to focus heavily on base rating. So what are tanks for? Like, what? What? Yeah, just leave it, scrap it, don't bring it in. Maybe that's why they didn't bring it in anyway. Yeah, the future patches where they're saying like you will be able to go to other worlds, great. Like, I'm really eager to see that. Hopefully they make it so that you don't just talk to an NPC and you fly there, boom, and you spawn there. Hopefully you can like actually go into space, have some space combat, something like that. Now, I don't think it's gonna be like that because of the style of the game. It's not like Star Citizen or something like that, which the style of the game, the servers, the game engine, it's just different. It's not like that. I suspect what they will do is most likely you will talk to an NPC, he will fly you to a space station, and then from that space station you can choose where you want to go, like an overland map that we have in the game already. So I'm really eager to the future of the game. I think they have a good start. They had a good start and a solid start to the game, comparing to other games like New World that basically had to be redesigned from scratch. They have a good stage point. They have somewhat of a foundation. Now, it's not polished, of course it's not, but they'll do the polishing, and I'm thinking the game after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, how I think about it is they have a lot of space to move towards, and it can always come back to, you need, like, even if you get schematics from that world, you still need spice, so you need to come back to Arrakis to get the spice. So yeah, the foundation on Arrakis has to be built solid to accommodate that. So I think there's a lot of future here that they can get into. But yeah, I think that's it for me. I will try and do more videos, maybe show off if I have the tier 6 set. But I think I'm gonna be slowing down on Dune Awakening videos for now. Grounded 2 is coming out soon, which is only the first stage of Grounded 2, so it's kind of like the prequel, which I'm gonna be doing videos on. I really like Grounded. I play it with my son, so I'm gonna be doing videos on that. And yeah, that's it for me. If you have any comments, please let me know what you think, what you want to see change, what you want to see added, what you suspect they're gonna do. Put it in the comments, leave a like, join us, and we will, maybe in August they do a big patch. We don't know what the devs are gonna do, but yeah, maybe I think the future looks brighter than it does dark, you know, for the game. I think it's gonna be an awesome game, well, with all the add-ons and stuff that's coming out. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.